picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
Hey guys, it's Franky. Welcome to the Think Tank. We got Mexi with us.
Hi. So excited to be here. Thank you.
Yay! Hey Shauna, how you doing, friend? We didn't know what time we were going to get going.
We were chit-chatting for a while.
I know, like maybe a couple hours even. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great to see you. Happy Saturday, Dandy. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we want to talk a little bit more about Letecia Stauch. So we can kind of do a recap of the week, take a look at the recorded calls, see what the neighbor had to say, and texts and finding Gannon. Join Mexi and I. So yeah, there's quite a bit to talk about.
Yeah. I know we and you were chit-chatting about, we had all the good conversation. We did it off screen. I feel like this is really premeditated.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree. There's I'm going to say it seems like there's an awful lot of planning, just not good planning.
Yeah, there's a lot of planning. She knew exactly what she was doing. So she's definitely wasn't insane.
No. I don't know how that's going to go because each and every witness, hey girls, each and every witness has basically said so far that she was perfectly sound.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Can they use it? Would it be like temporary insanity? Does that mean she just lost it right at that exact second?
Well, she's claiming that she has like a multiple personality disorder, like dissociative personality disorder, something like that. Have you ever seen United States of Terror?
No.
If you haven't, I mean, it got canceled after like 4 seasons, I think. But this woman had multiple personalities. One of them was a male. One of them was like an old 60s housewife with.
Okay.
One of them was like a 16-year-old teenager. But even then, like whenever they were like doing whatever they were doing, they had their own personalities and their own character, but like they were so like sane. I'm just basing this off of like a TV show, guys. I have no idea. This isn't scientific.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
I just don't believe. I don't believe it. She knew exactly what she was doing. If you guys read the affidavit, my goodness, like it really lays it out. I've never seen anything better than this.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
32 pages though, right?
And the way it lays it out, it's so nice. But she knew exactly what
Absolutely.
she was doing. Like,
Isn't that the one that's 32 pages? I think I was
yeah.
looking at it not long ago. And it's a very full 2 pages.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like the fact that there was some conversation in it. You know, that made it a little bit more interesting. There's just, I mean, how many different stories does this woman come up with? We're at 7, right?
There's too many to count.
Yeah, absolutely. And what surprises me is none of them make sense. Not
Well,
only do they not make sense,
it's
but
what surprises me in all of the stories, regardless if they're true or not, is the
yeah.
lack of remorse for Gannon. Like,
Oh,
she,
absolutely.
in any of those phone calls, all of them, it was she either wasn't talking about him, wasn't thinking about him, or held him as some sort of bargain tool.
Yeah.
In about the recorded conversations.
Mhm. Well, before this even started, like before anything really happened again, and she was making posts like
Yeah.
how she had to do everything being a stepmother, and you know, she would like to find someone who would understand, and it's like, oh my goodness. And he did a phenomenal job. Oh,
He
he did.
did.
He suffered on many levels.
And I know I asked this earlier, and this might come off the wrong way, but I want to know why Gannon? You know, I asked this earlier to you personally. I'm like, why not Lena? Why not both? Why specifically target this kid specifically?
I mean, maybe there was simply a personality clash. She just didn't like him. Do you know what I mean?
And this is why I keep saying, like, I'm starting to think like that it was premeditated. Like, she planned on this. From the
I
excuse
honestly,
she gave to get off work to, and was she sent at 3:00 in the morning?
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, she did. She griped about, she griped about being a stepmom and how it affected her. How could he leave him? Well, and yeah, didn't he go to work? Is that, I think the
He
way
had
I'm
to go to some
understanding.
like training or something in Oklahoma, but he had to drop
So,
off his mom
yeah,
who was visiting, and it was like a late flight, so he just stayed at the airport for his flight in the morning. So he was gone the night of the 25th.
right. Yeah, absolutely. He was a mama's boy who, so he loved his mother. Yes. Yes. My stepfather had all daughters. He couldn't stand my younger brother and was abusive to him. Well, and doesn't that get to be basically because they feel threatened in some way?
Yeah, some sort of jealousy thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I won't ever understand it, but I mean,
I feel it was against both of the parents, the mother and the father. Yeah.
she had some resentment towards Eugene,
Yeah.
Albert, Al, the Gannon's
Yeah.
father. She had some sort of resentment towards him, like,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think a lot of it was based around his job. You know, I think she basically resented his position in the military.
but and I know we've talked about this before, like in the chat, as far as like talk about it, we talked about it in the chat where we didn't understand like why he would leave his children with this woman who it seemed like was manipulating him from the very start in South Carolina, right? But I don't know. I just I can see why he still thought that she was good with them. Like, but I do feel like those kids whenever he went away for training or whatever, those kids should have gone back to their mom for the time. But I don't know. They said that the mom was like also bedridden, right? Wasn't she?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm
like,
not
I know
sure.
all of her so what the court says is what was brought out in court was like she had some sort of she
A
was
problem pregnancy.
She wasn't carrying her children to full term.
Right.
So like and whenever he got custody of the kids, I think what is said is that she was pregnant herself and was like bedridden or couldn't, like she just couldn't.
Right.
It was a high risk pregnancy, something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was during that time that he was also out, but they did share some sort of equal custody with them. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the sad thing is some of these questions we'll never have answers to. That's the worst of it.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't, at this point, she doesn't look like she's going to be someone to talk. Now,
she's not
if there was some, yeah, no, she just sits there looking like Cousin It. I mean, it's like, it's almost frustrating because you watch these lawyers, the prosecution get in there and they have got like an immense amount of information. And pretty much every single witness when it comes to the defense, they've passed. And when they haven't passed, it's usually like one or two questions that you don't even understand the relevancy.
And they're blubbering through it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what?
Like, think about it. Like,
so does she just have really crappy lawyers as well? Like, unreal.
I'm thinking that maybe they've been playing like a slow game and that maybe they will, because they're gonna have professionals or experts, I guess, that will come and testify that she has or that they think she has a certain diagnosis for insanity. And I don't know what else to do, but like that's what they're like. I don't know if that's what they're waiting for. Like,
well, it seems to be what they're gonna go for.
Yeah, no, for sure. But like, why haven't they like? I don't know. They've been like lacklustered for me. Like very. We don't even know what's going on.
Very mellow trial.
And this is just like an unbiased thing, okay? Like I'm not saying that they were right or wrong about this, but they let Gannon's dad, Albert or Eugene, like the defense asked him a question about something, and then his father answered with, "We talked about this yesterday." And he was like, "Oh, okay," and then moved on to a different question. I was like, "Oh, what?"
Oh, isn't that interesting?
Hello, like you can't do that. Like you can't.
No.
And this is me playing like not teams. Like I really like the law part of it. The defense is like, what are you doing?
Oh my word.
You don't let him run the conversation, tell you where it's gonna go. You don't accept his answer. It's like, I don't care if we talked about it yesterday. I asked you now, you will answer the question.
Yeah, tell me what you said yesterday. Let's do this.
And he was just like, oh, okay. And then moved on to the next question. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And Dandy, you're right. The only thing that's insane is what she did to Gannon while she was perfectly sane. You know? Oh. Yeah, as far as lawyers, you get what you pay for. Okay, so get this one, though. Let's just take a look at this. So she seems to have pretty shit-ass lawyers. Just in my opinion, don't know them. Okay, but let's look at what the government has given her. Shit. So let's take a look at the Brian Koberger case that now has a lawyer that is getting paid $200 an hour for this case. She is one of the best out there. She has her, I don't know what they're called, the people that are under her, $180 an hour they're getting paid on this case. So why is someone like Brian Koberger getting like a very, very, very good defense team? And over here at Letecia, look at those shit-ass lawyers. So how does that work?
I think they're just like out of their element, to be honest. Because they do seem professional. Like they do. They know what they're talking about. Their arguments are very kind of legit. But
they're not the best in the county.
And I
like
don't want to
make
that opinion quite yet because I don't know what their gameplay is. Like, I don't know if they're playing this, no questions, Your Honor, for this guy, or they're just stumbling through things on purpose and they have like this big.
You think they might have a plan of attack?
That's what I'm waiting for. Like,
okay.
I don't want to make an opinion on this until I see the end of it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Because her lawyers do seem
far
they're intelligent. They do know things. It's but
absolutely.
I don't understand their game plan quite. So I don't know if because I don't understand it, it makes them look like idiots, or if they're just idiots.
Yeah, it's just not looking good for them. Not looking good.
No, it really isn't. But I'm trying to hold.
And this could also be a death penalty case, just like his.
Colorado doesn't have it.
See?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, Dandy could probably answer that for sure. But I looked that up the other day, and I don't think they have it. Yeah, because they're appointed lawyers as they're appointed by the state. That's what Brian Koberger's lawyer is as well. Is appointed by the state.
So her lawyers are not appointed by the state?
I don't know. I've never looked into that part of this case.
Yeah.
I have looked into Brian Koberger and Richard Allen's attorney.
Yeah. Okay. Let's check it out. Colorado Springs, the tragic case of Gannon Stauch's disappearance evolved into an alleged attack, and new details in a leaked arrest affidavit reveal that the police believe Stauch's mother lied to the investigators and undertook numerous steps to conceal the crime. Oh, you think? Letecia Stauch was arrested in early March, more than a month after she reported Gannon's disappearance from their Lorson Ranch home on January 27th. After weeks of searching, police obtained enough evidence to charge Letecia with first-degree tampering with evidence and a slew of other charges. KRDO obtained a copy of the arrest affidavit Thursday night through social media groups connected with Gannon's disappearance. We chose not to publish any details until we got word from the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office, since the affidavit was originally sealed to the public. The Colorado courts then unsealed the affidavit late Friday morning. The affidavit reveals the work being done by investigators behind the scenes and show that Letecia tried to deceive them multiple times, including concocting a fictional story about an alleged R word inside her home, resulting in that person abducting Gannon. Oh my God. Eventually, investigators found the red stuff in Gannon's bedroom, and GPS location information that followed Letecia's return to the scene near Highway 105 and Perry Park Road, where police believe she originally disposed of Gannon's remains. The document also reveals a possible motive for the brutal attack. Letecia was unhappy at home and looking for an escape. Well, that would do it. These are the details as alleged by police investigators in El Paso County. What do you think? Kelly Ripa. January 25th through January 29th, 2020 is coming up. Oh, a public pretender? Okay. As long as they work. Aren't they? Like,
They
oh
got
my
a
God.
license, right? That's all that matters.
Very courteous, very well spoken. Yeah. Yeah. Pretender. Right. Yeah. So I think we've gone through these, guys. Maybe we'll look at them again, though. She also had the following Google searches. So this is just amazing how stupid, I'm sorry, my opinion. All that stuff with Richard Allen.
None of those were questions, though. Like, they weren't even questions. They were statements. Like,
they were searches for, like, what the hell?
They were statements. Like,
yeah. So I think it's what, 1 to 32. I don't want to count them, but 1 to 34. So I'll just kind of go one by one and get these done. So find real military singles. Google search. Step in anytime you want, Mexi. Oh, we were talking exactly about these. Parenting should be 4 people, not 1.
Like, 4? Why? There should be 2 people unless you're like in some weird quadruple relationship.
Right. Well, you know, when you've been divorced, you pretty much have to work with your spouse and those other ones.
So far in court, it sounds like they have like a pretty even keel, like custody thing, like where they'd spend 6 months with him, like 6 months with her, like call it like it sounded pretty cool. Like,
yeah, I think that it's possible there's other information that may have come out from the mother. Possible. And yeah, I mean, you know, like when a person just reads it randomly.
This one right here is like so stupid because it's a statement. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card.
Oh, you see,
I raise her kids.
Yeah.
What?
Like, yeah.
Google's like, I don't know the answer to that. Letecia. I don't know the answer to that.
I'm over doing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. Mom advice from stepmom. If you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty.
These are just all statements. No questions or no questions.
Yeah. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a card since I raise her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card. Okay, they did some of these double. One day, some people will wish they treated you differently. Find a guy who wants
That
me
one right
to
there.
take care.
That one.
Mhm.
Reread that one.
Find me a rich guy who wants me
No,
to
no,
take
no.
care of his
The one
kids.
before that.
Why should my husband chase
No.
me? One day,
Somebody.
some people will wish they treated you differently.
Yes.
That one? Yeah. That's
That
a little
one right
that's a little
there.
harsh.
That
Yeah.
one right there
Yeah.
is motive.
Absolutely is. Absolutely is. Parents are those who put their kids before their nails. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? Will humidifier help if exposed to smoke? Smoke effect, will humidifier help? Smoke from fire effects, will humidifier help? Colorado law for kids starting at home. School is out. It's okay for my kid to stay home alone. Son is sick, but I have to go to work. Suede repair kit, IDT for sofa. El Paso Sheriff's Office number. What is the process for our runaway child? Police steps for our runaway child. Police steps for our missing child. Today's fight, OKC to COC. I don't know. Can Nintendo find my Switch? Okay. CarNet Volkswagen. They are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong. All right. So this one's going to be Sunday, January 26th. Letecia said she... okay, here we go. Letecia said she met alleged R-worder Eduardo near a construction site. Police believe this story is fictional.
No shit.
She claims Gannon knocked over a candle, burnt the carpet. She called Eduardo to fix it, gave him garage code, and he would fix the next day. Letecia claims Gannon is up most of Sunday night into Monday morning with stomach problems. Monday, January 27th, 4:37 a.m. Letecia tells employer her stepdad was killed after being hit by a car. She won't be into work. So this one's an unknown time. Gannon stayed home from school. Gannon likely alive the morning of the 27th. Why does this kid have a coat on him? 8:13 to 8:17. Letecia takes pictures on her cell phone of Gannon sleeping in bed. That is a horrifying picture. My personal opinion is Gannon has already dealt with that attack. I honestly believe that. 10:16 a.m. Neighbors surveillance video shows Nissan Frontier with Letecia and presumably Gannon leave the residence. Letecia leaves cell phone at home, locked between 9:56 a.m. and 2:45 p.m. I'd love to see that video.
It's out there.
It is out there, right?
Wow.
Like that, there is that one, isn't it? I haven't looked at it for a while. Are you looking?
Yeah.
Okay. No, that's awesome. Thank you.
Who's this with? Daily Mail.
Okay.
This one sounds like a good one. Oh, it's shitty as fuck. But hey, you can stream it. Oh, wait.
Is it safe?
I don't know. I'm gonna send it to you so you can look.
Okay. I'm thirsty this evening. I think I should be okay. I just have to do a couple of commercials. Are you going to do it or would you like me to?
Oh, I don't mind. Whichever.
Okay. Just take some breaks. I've got it set up if you change your mind.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Go for it. Okay, so this is from, I've got ABC is in my description, and this is ABC 15 News. Check them out. So neighbor with good God. Neighbor with video evidence reacts to Gannon Stauch's stepmom's arrest. Let's check it out. Damn, I get tongue-tied sometimes. Come on. What's going on here, buddy? I don't know, friend. It's not letting me really. I'll get you to do it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Yeah, mine just didn't want to take it. All right. That's her pulling in.
Oh, hey, do you hear the commentary on it?
No.
No, you don't. Okay. So hold on 1 second. Okay. Now let me do it again.
There you go. No volume.
No volume? You can't hear it?
No.
Oh my goodness. Guys,
Sounds good, Shauna.
Sounds good. Hold on, let me do this real quick.
No.
You don't hear it, really?
Really? I know, right?
Why? I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. A minute.
Not a biggie.
I didn't get it.
Nothing, my friend.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing. Really?
Really?
No.
Right? What the hell?
Why? Why are you doing this to me? Come on. Here now.
No.
No. Are you fucking serious?
Beep. Beep.
What the fuck? Yeah, well, obviously I can't play because I just tried all of them. I just tried all the screens. Like I did it
Isn't
all.
that something? I wonder what that's all about.
Hold on, let me try. This
I did a video on that dandy.
one.
Yeah. Yeah. I did a video on that this morning.
Hear it?
Murder case showing
Yeah.
Gannon leaving with his stepmom Letecia, but according to neighbor Roderick Drayton, Gannon is nowhere to be seen when Letecia returns.
I watched the video. I could slow it down, speed it up. I know he didn't come home with her, so I knew something. She'd done something with him or to him.
Drayton started reviewing footage after a knock on the door from the FBI.
Just kept looking through video, hundreds of clips, until I found it.
From the start, as search teams scoured acres of land looking for Gannon, Letecia has maintained her innocence.
A little emotional.
Cassie Brown knows the family.
It's been really tough.
Her son was friends with Gannon. The two bonded over video games.
He really did love Sonic as much as everybody says.
Like many in the Lorson Ranch subdivision, they're showing their respects. Blue is the theme.
He's really a light. He's so happy and so loving.
Balloons and ribbons are hard to miss.
After hearing what happened today, it's like, it's just heartbreaking.
As a community prays for a family experiencing tremendous sorrow. It is surveillance video that
I'm just gonna play this without it.
So is that absolutely Gannon?
I have no idea. That's the thing. I have no idea.
Well, hello, James. Good to see you, friend.
I have no idea if that is.
You're back, Shauna. Yay. Figured maybe Gannon deserved a little bit more of a look, James.
Because you said like you have a theory that maybe he was killed like way before then. I find it weird that she sent that message to her boss about someone dying at like 4 a.m, 3 a.m, whatever it was.
And I think seeing a picture of Gannon totally gray lying underneath a quilt that he doesn't use, and the blankets are pulled all the way up to his neck. Who sleeps like that? And he was found in a winter coat. So if that's the case, why was he in bed with a winter coat on? You know, did this trip possibly happen earlier?
Very good point.
You know, if it happened earlier, then yeah, that could very well be Gannon. And this attack, he got sent to his room maybe because she did like to throw authority around. I mean, the attack happened in that bedroom.
But I have like the same problem that I have with the Brian Kohlberger case on this. Like, how can someone do that quickly? Because according to the police, she was murdered between the times of like 2:30 or something like that and like 3, right when they got home from like Petco, right?
Yeah, I mean, which is a possibility. But then
just like
why?
That's how you go into it. Like you just like as soon as you get home, because they got home like 2:15 or something. As soon as you got home, like you just went balls to the wall.
yeah, just ballistic on a kid.
Why? Like what happened? Why?
It was a little wild, Andy. It was a couple of days at least.
I don't understand that, and I think we will never know the answer to that. We're never going to know the answer to that of why I think
Not
when
unless she
she went out
talks.
to like Petco, like when she went out to Petco, she had that first purchase,
Mm-hmm.
and then she kind of disappeared for like a few hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So which
When
would have
she was
been
like scouting a place to. This is premeditated. Like
yeah, she
that's the
may I
only
mean
conclusion you can come to.
the only thing I can think of in that time is she was possibly going to put him in a temporary spot until she could get out of that
And
county and off to Florida.
that's assuming that he died actually like in the morning, and not when cops say that he did. Because cops are
Yeah.
saying that he died like at like 2:30 or something like that, or actually between like 4 and 5. Like I don't know, but it's
So in order
after they
for
got
that,
home. Yeah.
yeah, in order for that to like work out, that means that nothing happened in the morning. Nothing must have happened in that house. They're trying to say that he went willingly. There's a video of him willingly getting into that vehicle and he doesn't come back. Well, then, if that's the case, how does that explain his bedroom?
You know what bothers me is that 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever the fuck message to her boss. Her supervisor that she sent, where she was like, "Hey, my stepfather died.
Right.
In my car." Like she did that super early in the morning. Like,
yeah, she did like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, right? So obviously she had some kind of plan in her twisted little brain.
if he wasn't already dead, if Gannon wasn't already gone.
Yeah, I mean, he could have been. There's again that where I get a little bit confused is that coat again. Why was he wearing that damn coat? So let's take a look here again. So this is that same morning, and we are at 10:16 a.m. And this is where the neighbor surveillance video shows a Nissan Frontier with Letecia and presumably Gannon leave the restaurant. Letecia leaves the cell phone at home, locked, between 9:56 a.m. and 2:43 p.m. 10:37 a.m., text sent from Gannon's phone to Harley. Tisha left phone at home. If you need to text her, text me. 12:06 p.m., Al Stauch sends a text message to Gannon saying, "Hey, buddy." During this time, Letecia travels to Petco on North Nevada Avenue. 11:22 a.m., Letecia completes her purchase. Gannon is not seen on the surveillance video from the store. Whereabouts unknown between 11:22 and 1:22. At 1:21 p.m., Gannon's phone responds to a text from Al. "Can I play Zelda, please?" At least, it says. Al replies, "Not today." At 1:22 p.m., Letecia makes another purchase at Petco on North Nevada Avenue. Do we have any idea what she purchased?
That's probably the Harley purchase. The baking soda, vinegar, carpet cleaner, and I think there was bubble gum purchased. Baby oil, and some other things.
Okay, well, a lot of it is for trying to get stains out of a carpet.
Yeah.
Okay. 2:14 p.m. This is when investigators believe Gannon was attacked by Letecia. After this timestamp, it is, at his residence, more specifically in his bedroom. So, okay. How did he get back? If we didn't see him getting out of that vehicle, how did he get unalived in that bedroom if they're saying that footage proves that Gannon did not come back? What do you think?
I don't know what to think about that because they're saying that at like 10 something, whatever it
Baking
was,
soda and vinegar.
10 something, that there was somebody matching Gannon's description leaving the house. Like, and we're just talking about height, body build, not necessarily him, but just
This one
height
here
and
at
body build.
10:16, neighbors video. Surveillance video shows Nissan Frontier with Letecia and presumably Gannon leaving the residence. Letecia left the cell phone at home, locked between 9:56 and 2:45 p.m.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then they're saying he didn't come back.
Well,
Because they
say that
only
they
see Letecia.
him, like they can't see him in the video. So
Yeah.
I can't dispute that. Maybe he was on the other side. He got out of the other side. I don't know.
Okay. So that's not 100%. They're not saying, they're saying presumably Gannon. Hard to tell with video. ADT motion detectors show no movement.
So talking about that, what I find weird about that is that if he was home, why was his bed already moved at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Well said. Yeah.
Why was it off the wall? Like, why?
Yeah. So that is, they are saying that that photo was taken in the morning, right?
Yeah. Because that's when he received it, was like at 8 o'clock in the morning or some shit.
Yeah.
Like 8:18 or something.
And I don't know if you've noticed, I've spent some time looking at the different photographs that are out there and what have you. They've started on that photo with him in bed. They have literally started blurring out his face. So there's that, which is totally unusual if they're assuming that he is alive. So if he went with her and he came back, and if there's proof that he came back, I don't know about that picture. I don't know about her call in the middle of the night. These are very unusual. But the only thing that it would explain in any degree is why he's wearing a coat. Right?
I think it started the night before. Like, I'm not even. From what I know about the story, and this sounds like absolute fucking bullshit. She said she was laying in bed or something, and that she heard like the fire alarm going off, and it was also like carbon monoxide, and then like she drove around for an hour and like didn't call any sort of emergency services for it. Like, I just, something about the burning of him doesn't make sense to me. Like, it's sketchy.
No, it doesn't.
There already, like.
Yeah. And you've got it. Do you have the audio of that?
In a TikTok, I sent it to you.
Do I got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You know me. Let's see where it is. That one there. Nope. I need to back up. Okay. And I'm back. I'm looking. Opening statements. I am so bad. Yeah, okay. I'm looking. Going down there, Maxie. I'm coming. There we go. Perfect. Okay, yes, is you. How do you get in there?
What do you mean? How do you get in there? Let me see. Hold on.
I'm having problems. Okay, this is like getting crazy.
Is that me or you?
Hmm?
Is that me or you? It's probably me.
Could you hear that? I couldn't get it. Did you hear any of that, Maxie? I was having a hell of a time.
Share my screen. Let me play this for you.
Okay, thank you.
26. January 26,
Can you hear
2020,
it?
something bad happened
Yeah.
inside the Stauch family home. Gannon suffered some burns. You'll learn this from a video recording this defendant made that night, January 26th. You'll hear her as she manipulated Gannon, putting guilt on him for some mistake that a child made. And in that recording, you'll hear Gannon say in his own words, "I'm just worried about my burns."
I just don't know what to do.
Well, devastating. Initially, Scott, I can't lie, when the TMZ information.
Gannon, I promise this is the last time I'm going to ask you. I'm just freaked out, okay? Are you sure you didn't do it on purpose? Okay, we promise. You promise.
Oh,
Pinky promise. Okay, all right. So listen. We're all right. We're gonna have to sell stuff to fix it. Okay. So we figure out what we gotta sell. We can sell the sofa. We can sell whatever, because we gotta get it fixed. So, lady, don't be mad at us and kick us out of the house. Okay.
oh.
You got it. You got it.
Kyle.
Okay. Shh. Listen. So tomorrow.
The other person in this case is that last voice you just heard, who said so tomorrow. Just like he's sitting right here, the defendant. January 26, 2020, and into January 27, 2020, she was the sole provider for Gannon. Her husband, Al Stauch, Gannon's father, serves in the National Guard. He was in Oklahoma for National Guard training, left that Saturday night, the 25th. Everything that happened to Gannon from that point forward was her decision. She carried out actions to kill Gannon, to put his body in a suitcase and hide it, to hide evidence of what she did to Gannon. Told numerous stories to investigators to manipulate the course of the investigation. And finally, to discard Gannon inside that suitcase off of a Florida bridge like garbage.
That
In January
nauseates me.
2020, something bad happened.
That's nauseating.
That was Facing Reality, guys. If anyone has a TikTok, go
Nice.
look them up.
Good
Facing
check him
Reality. She's
Wow.
vile.
Yeah,
She
she's
made that
wild.
little boy cry. Did you hear her when she shushed him? When he was like, "I'm just worried about my brand." She was like, "Shush, shush, shush, shush."
Yeah.
We can sit on the couch. We could do this. We could do that. I'm like,
Nauseating. So I guess with this part here, we pretty much have to go based on what the cops are saying right now, and we can just have our theories. But this is basically based on what their thoughts, right? So at 2:14 p.m., investigators believe Gannon was attacked by Letecia after this timestamp at his residence, more specifically in his bedroom. 2:19 p.m., vehicle returns what appears to be Letecia gets out, and presumably Gannon, hard to tell by the video. ADT motion detectors show no movement between 10:16 and 2:19 in the house. 2:22, Gannon and Letecia, this is PM, enter the house. Lena's at school. Harley is at work. 2:30, in an interview with detectives in February, Letecia tells detective she had been R-worded by a guy named Eduardo during this time. Eduardo. During this time, ADT motion sensors show movement between upstairs and downstairs. 2:45, Letecia unlocks her phone. 3:15, Letecia claims this is the last time she saw Gannon leaving the residence to go play with a friend. Lena returns home from school. Letecia tells her Gannon is asleep in her bed and instructs Lena to go outside and play. Detectives believe Letecia was cleaning up that red stuff during this time. 3:30 to 3:42, surveillance shows Lena outside riding her bike. At 3:41 through 4:20, great number. Several text messages between Letecia and Harley and L. 3:55, L. Stauch sends messages to Gannon's phone saying, "Hey, buddy." The message was not read until 7:40 p.m. Detectives believe Gannon was already deceased. At 4:42, Harley, Letecia's daughter, arrived home from work in the white Jetta. She picked up Lena and left the residence. 4:52, Letecia sends text to Harley asking her to pick up items at the store. The text reads, there we go, carpet powder, 2 things, baking soda, trash bag. She still needs vinegar. 5:14, receipt shows the purchase, trash bags, baking soda, and vinegar. There we are. At 5:14. It was later found in the Tiguan, Letecia's car. It is during this time detectives believe Letecia cleaned up the mess left behind by her attack on Gannon. On February 1st, detectives found the red stuff presence in Gannon's bedroom, the hallway leading to the utility from the bedroom, the utility room itself, and the staircase leading upstairs, and the pathway to the garage and the garage itself. 6:55 p.m., Letecia calls 911 to report Gannon missing. At 10:09 p.m., deputies respond and are not able to find Gannon. Deputies observed the Volkswagen Tiguan and it was backed into the garage. Deputies go to Gannon's bedroom. Detectives later compare body camera footage of the room compared to photos taken earlier in the day and shows Gannon's bed with different bedding and sheets and moved against the wall. This is what you were talking about, Maxie.
Yeah. What?
Oh, he sounded so terrified, didn't he? Didn't that just like put a lump in your stomach? Oh, God. Remember that science experiment where you add vinegar, baking soda, and explodes? I so remember that.
Yeah.
Let me shake it, right?
Yeah.
It fizzes like in a big bad way. Did Harley take this? I don't know what to think about that yet, Dandy. What do you think?
You should read the probable cause.
How many
Before
pages?
they found Gannon, I think it was probable cause like affidavit that they put out was like February something. At that time, Harley was refusing to speak to authorities.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then during the time that Gannon was allegedly missing, she picked her mom up from the airport. She picked her up from a couple blocks away from wherever Gannon's body was put the first time.
Took her to the car rental spot.
Yep. Used her phone. Went and picked her up. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I can't say that she doesn't know something. She's supposed to testify, apparently.
I haven't pulled up the witness list.
I'm excited for that.
I'll have to dig that up. So this is January the 28th. So at 5:14, Letecia texted a babysitter, LS. This happened after 3:30. LS, we talked to him. Oh my word. Run outside. Go. We talked to him then and told him to be home by 6. The sitter. Someone posted he wasn't at school either. LS. He had to go to the doctor for his stomach, but he was there in the afternoon. The sitter. Where did he say he was at? Honestly, I don't keep up with his friends. That was Letecia's response. I don't keep up with his friends. 8:30 a.m., the receipts show Letecia rents a 2019 Kia Rio from Avis Rent-A-Car in Colorado Springs. 8:48, Letecia texts Harley to pull her car, the white VW Jetta, into a garage. 8:50 a.m., they're busy bees in the morning. Letecia picks up Al from the COS airport, stops at King's Supers, Wendy's, and then heads back home in Lorson Ranch. 12:57, search on Letecia's phone, can Nintendo find my Switch? 4:04 to 4:17, investigators ask Letecia for Gannon's toothbrush for DNA. 4:19, Letecia texts Al and said they're asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong. Letecia, something isn't right. I think they're hiding something. Al says, who, the police? Letecia, yes, they're asking for toothbrushes. Al said, what do you think they're hiding? 7 p.m. Letecia picks up the VW Tiguan she left earlier that morning at the COS airport short-term parking lot. At 7:02, a receipt shows Letecia leaving the COS airport with the Tiguan. Between 7:02 to 12 a.m. on the 29th, detectives believe Letecia used the Tiguan to dump Gannon's remains. Between 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., location data from the Tiguan shows the vehicle was in the area of HWY 105 Perry Park Road in Douglas County, Colorado. Phone data from the Tiguan shows vehicle N or USAFA and S of, south of, Douglas County. 9:16 p.m. to 9:28 p.m. Data from the Tiguan shows the car driving into a rural area, Highway 105 and Perry Park Road, then driving out. Of note, Harley's phone shows near Stauch residence. Detectives don't believe Harley was with Letecia at this time. 10:26, Harley leaves the Stauch residence, and detectives believe she picked up Letecia near Powers and Carefree. 10:45 p.m., Letecia makes a statement to investigators via text message. What do you want from me? Because I have nothing. One of your very own leaked to me what you guys were doing. I did nothing or am being set up. I'm not really even sure, other than being told that by other Blue with El Paso, I was told I couldn't go home to sleep. And on top of that, that men were sent to a home with a minor female, and she was forced to stay. There's not to even have good. What's this? She was forced to stay there, not to even have good. Okay, then. Every conversation that said, even at this moment, I can hear inside. What the hell? What do you want from me? Detective Bethel, come talk to me. And she said, I would just like information to find Gannon. What do you think? Hello, Connor.
Hello. Hello, Connor.
What do you think? She making herself a fancy little web?
The thing is, I don't understand the web she's woven. Is the thing. She doesn't look insane to me.
No. I'm not seeing anything other than somebody who's trying to hide their activities.
She did a really good job. Well, not a really good job at that, but like she made a very conscientious.
She made a massive effort
at that.
Yeah.
It was terrible, but she did it.
Oh, something else. Something else.
The car picking him up was solid.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. So January 29th, 2020. So 9 a.m., the rental Kia Rio returned the morning of January 29th, 2020. Letecia was picked up by someone driving the white Jetta, presumably Harley. 11:30 a.m., surveillance video catches the Tiguan at the car wash with potential blood on the back bumper, black bumper. Every time I read this, I'm calling it the back. 12 p.m., Letecia arrives at EPSO office for an interview with detectives. She was 2 hours late. Go figure. Letecia brings several pieces of paper with her with notes for interviews with detectives. The Tiguan, Letecia's vehicle, was wet. So during this interview, Letecia claims she was held at gunpoint, R-worded by a Hispanic male named Eduardo, and Gannon was abducted.
Eduardo.
Boy, you nasty boy.
We're going to start pointing fingers at people. Let's get their name right. Eduardo.
Iguado. It's Iguado.
You did it.
It's Iguado. So, yeah, unreal. So she claims the man in the basement claims that the man was in the basement when she came home, allowed her to greet her daughter, Lena. She claimed that he R-worded Letecia between 3:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Claims she may have hit her head and blacked out. May have. Claims Gannon jumped onto this guy's back and that he threw Gannon across the room, held him at gunpoint, and demanded suitcase and cardboard box. Claims she cleaned the area. Detectives offer Letecia an exam, but she denied it. Go figure. Detectives seize her phone. At the end of the interview, Letecia sticks tissue down her pants, claiming chest pain and shortness of breath. I still don't understand this. I've read it over and over and over.
I don't understand the tissues. Yeah, I read that over and over, and I was like, why was she sticking tissues down her pants? I don't understand that.
That'll definitely prevent you from having a heart attack.
Hey, everybody has their thing, right?
Well, oh, my word. So Letecia was transported to the hospital. VW Tiguan was seized from Letecia. Letecia leaves the hospital without telling investigators and took her toilet paper with her. Picked up an unknown person and seen reunited with her daughter Harley several miles away. So investigators find multiple carpet brushes with suspected carpet fibers on them in the dishwasher at the Stauch residence. They located an empty gallon of vinegar, and Letecia rents a 220 Nissan Altima. Investigators put a GPS tracking device on it. At 2:14 p.m., Letecia texts Nicole. They think that's the homeowner. Letecia, when we came back inside, the smoke, there was blood on both of us. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I wouldn't get unknown word out about it. And I don't know if he should go to the doctor. I kept trying to add the candle thing, but Albert kept saying it was small and minor. I was scared. The basement was smoky. And when I threw the cover, everything had that blood. Letecia, you don't understand how it is to be a stepmom. Okay. A large amount of the population, just the way it's gone, are step-parents. And you don't hear of this happening every day. So on January 31st, 4:16 p.m. to 5:13 p.m., Letecia headed back to Douglas County in the Nissan Altima near Highway 105, Perry Park Road in Douglas County. Detectives believe she went back to make sure Gannon's remains were not seen near the road and evidence of his body was covered up.
But here's the thing. She was there prior
Mm-hmm.
to, like, whenever she went and did that Petco purchase or whatever. She was in that area.
Twice, right?
She was scouting. Wasn't she not scouting? Is that not scouting a fucking area? Is this not
That
premeditated?
sounds like she was scouting, yeah.
It's premeditated. This woman should not have the option of guilty by insanity.
I think they're going to blow that right out of the water. So every single person they talk to, they basically have asked all the right questions to find out how level-headed she was. And not very. So over the next few weeks, detectives conduct more thorough searches through the Stauch house. Blue Star is used to find the presence of blood in Gannon's room, the hallway leading to the utility room from the bedroom, the utility room itself, the staircase leading upstairs, pathway to the garage, and the garage area itself. In Gannon's room, suspected blood was found seeping through the carpet, through the pad, and stained the concrete. Trust me, I've seen this, and when it is going through all of this stuff, it's bad. It's not a little bit of the red stuff. It is a shit ton of the red stuff. Bloodstain and blood spatter were located on the wall in this area. 50 droplets of suspected were found on walls near Gannon's bed. His mattress had a red stain on it, the carpet, and blood cast off the wall. Experts say that this stain on the walls were likely created by gunshots, blunt force, or Suspect's blood is found behind and around the edges of an electrical socket next to Gannon's bed. Well. February the 12th, investigators start focusing their efforts in Douglas County. February 13th, investigators start monitoring phone calls between Letecia and Al Stauch. They claim her story continuously changed. Letecia states Gannon was burned with a candle to the point his skin bubbled. Gannon peeled the burns off and wiped the blood on his bedroom wall. I say no.
I agree with that. I second that.
Ugh. Friday, February 14th. Phone call between Letecia and Al shows 4 more stories. Okay, let's do this. So 1, when El Paso came to the house on January 27th, the abductor was still in the house and she tried to tell deputies that somebody was there. I don't know about that. EPSO deputies checked the entirety of the house and there was no other person located. She said she was R-worded by Quincy Brown at her home, and Brown abducted Gannon. Don't know what happened to Eduardo. Don't know. She knew Brown's identity because she saw paper with his ID card fall out of his pocket. Well, how lucky. Letecia sent a photo of Quincy Brown to Elle via text. Quincy followed her from Petco and at some point was laying in the middle of the road in front of her. So she had to stop so she didn't run him over. And when that happened, he jumped into his car and then took him home and he R-worded her. Damn, Quincy Brown. Letecia.
all damn time.
Yeah, no doubt. It's like, oh my God. Letecia and Gannon were near County Line Road and Highway 105 in North El Paso County on January 27th. Gannon was riding a bicycle in the area and he fell. He hit his head and then was abducted by Quincy Brown. Brown was driven by a man named Terrence.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
It Dickens.
Holy. Police believe that Stauch also fabricated this story after seeing Brown's picture in a lineup at the Pikes Peak Most Wanted Fugitive. So she went on there, picked out like a really, really bad guy, told her family it was Quincy Brown. Just look him up. He's bad. It's like, oh my God. February 15th, investigators located a piece of particle board during their search. It did have a stain that appeared to be the red stuff, and it did match Gannon. And it was also found near Highway 105, Perry Park Road. Investigators think that Letecia used the particle board during the disposal of Gannon's remains. Letecia tells investigators she told Elle Gannon fell off his bike because she thought that's what he wanted to hear. You know, not the truth. It just you know, oh God. Letecia told Elle over the phone that the stuff in the corner of Gannon's room was a combo of hers and Gannon's. She said the abductor R-worded both her and Gannon. And oh my God, this woman. And was present when EPSO came to the house. He was hidden in that house and they could not find him anywhere. February 16th, this woman.
Lies.
Oh my God, she makes me want to drink. 7:28 p.m. Letecia told a female, Tila Cummings, that she had given Elle false stories because she knows he won't believe anything she says. February 17th, 1:53 p.m. Letecia told a female friend, Laura Abernathy, that she was thinking about flying out to Colorado to take a lie detector test to prove her innocence. She said, they think I'm still in Colorado. 4:11 p.m., Letecia told an unknown female that she was going to take a lie detector test, but the test wouldn't be admissible in court and no one law enforcement would be present. February 18th, 10:14 a.m., Letecia called this number, a number associated with, get this, fakepolygraph.com. Letecia tells...
It's like the best one.
Oh my God, fakepolygraph.com. Letecia tells callers she never received a confirmation for the test, but she had paid for it. An unknown male said he would send it to her in the mail. 11:16, Letecia calls the phone number again and inquires about the email. The mail says her report was blocked by management because of the questions she wanted on the test. He said any test with illegal activities, the company has the right to not send it. Letecia said, what do you do now? Just delete it and go on about life and keep the money? The guy said, yes, we do indeed. Letecia said, I gotcha. Thank you. Goodbye. Detectives reached the mail at the website, asked for questions she was trying to get answers for. February 28th, Judge Ruffalo signs a warrant for arrest. March 2nd, Letecia Stauch is arrested in South Carolina. March 17th, Gannon's Stauch remains were found near Pace, Florida. Oh my God.
I'm interested to know how she made her way there.
To Florida?
Yeah.
Well, in that little car, right, that she rented?
Whatever the fuck it was. I don't know. She told the receptionist at the hotel that it was a Nissan Altima. I don't know because they didn't verify. I'd be really interested to know when she was there. It's like the beginning of February, I think.
Let's see how long these are. Not too bad.
Have you pucker your bum?
Hey.
Oh, dandy.
Is it dandy? Dandy, 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 dandy. So let's take a look at this. So this is week 1 of Stauch trial ends with physical evidence and texts. Bring this up a little bit for you guys. There we go. No. Okay, let's see what this is. All right, good set. Go. I say go.
Fierro continuing our coverage on the killing of 11-year-old. The latest evidence brought into that courtroom.
Week 1 testimony started with that emotional evidence, FBI calls between Letecia and Al Stauch. The week's now ending with more experts from both here and Pensacola, Florida. The boy's body was found in a suitcase under a bridge. This plastic-covered evidence carried on the left past defendant Letecia Stauch with her head down, covering her face Friday in the courtroom, is the green suitcase police found the body of 11-year-old Gannon Stauch inside of.
This is going to be the bullet that was extracted from the victim's head.
Gannon found inside the suitcase on March 17, 2020, with 1 bullet in his head, 2 other bullets in the pillow found with him in the suitcase. His clothes showing defects or markings matching with the injuries on his body. They found this all under a bridge more than 1,300 miles away in Pensacola, Florida, the place where hotel check-in documents show Letecia Stauch.
Letecia checking out on 2/4/20.
Checking in and out of a hotel in that area on February 4th, over a month before that suitcase and body are found.
Was it apparent to you when you got on scene that there had been quite a bit of decomposition happening already?
Yes, sir, due to the coloring here and the bug activity that was there, maggots.
Decomposition so bad they had to use a piece of Gannon's rib bone to get a DNA match to the profile of a boy missing in Colorado Springs. After evidence evaluation of Stauch's emotions and demeanor.
A child as young as Gannon, 11 years old, is missing or has run away for the first time. There's usually a little more emotional reaction.
A lieutenant from El Paso County who followed up with Letecia the day after reporting Gannon missing.
Did she appear to be suffering from dissociative identity disorder?
No.
and the assistant principal, where Letecia recently started working as a resource teacher, reading a text Letecia sent her at 3 a.m. the day she reported Gannon missing.
I'm sorry for the time of night message, but my stepfather passed away. Someone hit him with a car while he was walking.
The same message sent again at the 4 a.m. hour. Nothing about Gannon's disappearance to her employers.
Prosecution came back from lunch playing body camera footage at Letecia's house the night she reported him missing. Court resumes again on Monday morning. Nicole Fierro, Fox 31.
And we will be there. We will be there. Oh my God. So that they also said 3, right?
3 what?
Oh,
3
3
videos.
bullets.
No, super videos.
3 bullets.
Yeah, because there was 2 in the pillowcase and 1 in his.
Holy crap. What the hell was she doing?
That's what I
So
want
this,
to know.
yeah, right?
And we'll never
this is-
know.
Mhm.
That's what I really want to know.
No, I think you're right. I mean, the only way a person's going to really find out is if she decided to talk. Or, I mean, one of the kids possibly, right?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder about the extent of Harley's knowledge of things.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I mean, she had not been totally honest with law enforcement. So as soon as you find that she's lied, either to try and protect her mom or who knows what the
Her
motivations
mom
are.
trying to protect her or whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, Shauna. Yeah, pretty bad. So, okay, let's see with this text. 1 week after Letecia Stauch's trial wrapped up on Friday with evidence and expert testimony about 11-year-old Gannon Stauch's body being found 1,300 miles away, thrown under a bridge. Plastic covered evidence presented in the courtroom on Friday included a large green suitcase. The defendant kept her head down and her hair over her face as the suitcase passed by her in the courtroom. This has been her way the entire time. She hides behind her hair. I did see one time, and sadly, this is when they were showing autopsy pictures of Gannon. And it was the very first time I seen her pay attention. And I do not understand that. Did you notice that, Mixie?
I notice that every time her defense comes up, she pays attention to what's being said.
Yeah, yeah. And then hides back behind her hair.
She's concerned about herself. That's all I see. That's all I see is she's just concerned about herself.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So this, yeah, is the text. So let's take a look. Let's check it out. So week 1 of the Letecia Stauch trial wrapped up Friday. And here again, it was saying that they did find Gannon about 1,300 miles away, tossed under that bridge. And then they're talking again about it passing her in the courtroom. Police testified about finding his body inside the suitcase under a bridge in Pensacola, Florida on March 17th, 2020. This is going to be the bullet extracted from the victim's head and the 2 plastic pieces found in there. Santa Rosa County crime scene technician Kelly Smith testified. Smith said that during the autopsy, they uncovered 1 bullet in Gannon's head and 2 others in a pillow found with him in the suitcase. What the hell was she thinking? Smith testified that Gannon's clothes on his body showed defects that matched up with the injuries on his body. Alex Pack, a former employee at the Candlewood Suites Hotel in Pensacola, testified that Stauch checked in and out of the hotel over a month before Gannon's body was found on February 4th, 2020. Smith said the smell, okay, guys, heads up, it's getting ucky. The smell, the maggots, the coloration of the suitcase showed a lot of decomposition by the time they found Gannon. Later Friday morning, law enforcement and a former boss of Stauch testified about her emotions and demeanor during the time of Gannon's disappearance. In situations like this, where a child as young as Gannon, who is 11, is missing or running away for the first time, there's usually more emotional reaction. I did not see her show very much reaction when it came to...
She has none at all. None whatsoever.
But she does show it when it has something to do with her or her daughter.
Yeah, with her. Or her daughter specifically. Her blood. She don't give a shit about anybody else.
She sure doesn't seem to. She is piece of work. So Leslie Hicks, an assistant principal at the school Stauch was working at as a resource teacher in the January of 2020, talked about a text Stauch sent her at 3 a.m. on the day she reported Gannon missing. Okay, I just want to, okay, she was a resource teacher, which means she was working with either problem students or students that couldn't keep up, that they were having some kind of learning disability. So would she not have to have an awful lot of patience to be able to do this?
Yep.
Right? Like, how do you do this job and deal with all the stress that that brings on in a day, act perfectly fine, and go home and shoot him 3 times and then use that pointy thing 19 times?
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
What triggered it?
I'm sorry for the...
I have a lot of questions. I know we're never going to know, but like I do have a lot of questions about that because it does seem like it was premeditated prior, like days prior.
Yeah.
But
was
then
she just waiting for the perfect...
like all out, like at one point? Like it was just weird. I don't know.
Oh, what she did, the amount of, I don't know, anger, hatred, what would ever, can you, okay, this is graphic. I'm sorry, guys, heads up. But what would he have looked like when he finished with her, when she finished with him? You know, what, I'd love to know if there was anything there that would have cleaned him up. If there's any rags, if there's any of that stuff, because I'm not so sure he was alive in that picture still.
Yeah, that's kind of what gets me. But then who is it in the video? If it's not him, who is it? That's a question, because I do believe that like something happened like before then, because at 3 o'clock in the morning, she already gave an outrageous statement as to why she couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
And then this happens to her the next day. I don't know if it's like a grab her attention where she's just like, poor me. Like,
right.
I don't understand her.
Yeah. Well, and that picture was taken early. And law enforcement thinks this happened later in the afternoon. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Again, why did he have that damn coat on? You know, did he go and everything just happened, boom, as soon as they got back? But if that's the case, oh,
I find that strange too. Like, what was it? What was the catalyst that, like, as soon as you got home, you were like,
do you think
I've had it? Like,
could it have been that burn?
There's something about that burn that I don't understand.
Yeah. It's because we're only getting half truths, not even half truths. You know, it needs some kind of context. So this here is you're trying to put me 6 feet under Stauch's phone calls played at trial. Ready, set, go, Mexi?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. So, El Paso County, emotional recorded phone calls from the FBI and Al and Letecia Stauch started day 3 of her unaliving trial on Wednesday. Letecia Stauch is accused of attacking Gannon, her 11-year-old stepson, in 2020. She showed little emotion on Wednesday while listening to the recordings of herself. How come? Let's get out of here. I lost it with you guys. Okay. There we be. Okay. So Letecia Stauch is accused of unaliving Gannon, her 11-year-old stepson, in 2020. She showed little emotion Wednesday while listening to the recordings of herself in tears on phone calls back in 2020. The calls played in court Wednesday were all from February 14th, 2020, almost 3 weeks after Gannon's disappearance. Some of the following conversations can be heard in the video above. Where is the video above? Okay, let's do this.
Letecia Stauch trial today. She's the stepmother accused of killing 11-year-old Gannon Stauch after reporting him missing back in 2020. Fox 1's Nicole Fierro joining us live to break down the FBI recorded phone calls and testimony that wrapped up just a few minutes ago. Nicole.
Yeah, what a day. Gannon's dad is the first witness in this trial, and we have gotten so much just from his testimony already. Not only do we now see that Al had suspicions about Letecia Stauch, his wife at the time, almost immediately off the bat, but as we hear these recorded FBI phone calls filled with emotions, screams, cries from Letecia, we see her in real time lacking reaction in the courtroom.
I don't kill people!
FBI taped phone calls filled the courtroom Wednesday.
Right now, tell me the truth. Where is Gannon?
Frustrations, emotions heightened with each phone call from Valentine's Day 2020, almost 3 weeks after Gannon's disappearance.
There's more details that I can't disclose that would incriminate myself.
Defendant Letecia Stauch meets Al's, asks for information with a repeated request.
I need immunity. I need immunity. If they give me immunity, I will help. Okay, you're treating me like I'm in court or the law, not like I'm our son's father.
Through multiple calls, Letecia says a man took Gannon.
My hands were tied. All I could hear was Gannon screaming.
In different stories about the disappearance, Letecia gives Al different names for the alleged abductor: Eduardo and Uncle Mike, a man named Quincy Brown.
The guy was still there when the police searched the home?
Al talks about the tears in these calls.
There was times when I assumed yes, she was crying, and there was times where I assumed it was fake crying.
He answered to defense's questions about her personality and past too.
Al? Okay then.
Too.
Everything seems to be okay, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Well, we absolutely get the gist of that. So it's talking about the emotional phone call that we just heard. I don't know if you've heard the whole thing, but oh my goodness, she screams through the entire thing. Come on. Some of the following conversations can be heard on the video above. Letecia, I don't kill people. Al, right now, tell me the truth. Where's
I
Gannon?
felt like that was
What's
like
going
a giveaway. Like I felt like that was a giveaway when she was like, "I don't kill people," and I'm like, only people that kill people say something like that.
Right?
Good night, Jane.
Yeah. It's not something I have to state when I meet someone new. You know, hey, I'm Franky. I don't kill people. Like, this is just a very, very random thing for her to throw in there. So I need immunity. Letecia, if they give me immunity, I will help. We heard all that. Why the hell is she needing immunity?
For something
I've
that
already told you. Right? Like, why the hell would you need immunity? There's so many stories with her not involved that why is she all of a sudden needing immunity? Letecia, you're not trying to talk to me. You're trying to put me 6 feet under. That's what you're trying to do. Pretty paranoid little girl, eh? Okay, you're treating me like I'm the court of law. I'm not. I'm our son's father. Letecia, my hands were tied. All I could hear was Gannon screaming. Al, this guy was still there when the police searched the home. And she's, yes, yes. Oh, my word. Where was he at? Where was he at when they searched the house? And then she said something they didn't understand anything until I get immunity. After hearing the recordings, Al testified that he believed his wife was both genuinely crying and fake crying during the calls. Prosecution closed its questioning of Al, asking for his opinion on Letecia's sanity. I believe she is 100% absolutely sane based on what I witnessed and laid out. I have no indication of anything else, Al said. Sane from the time I met her until today. Defense attorneys asked Al if Letecia and he had talked about her alleged abuse as a child. He said she told him about the alleged abuse by one of her stepfathers and believed it was more of an isolated incident, not a pattern of abuse. Okay, don't understand what that really means, but I mean, anytime you've been attacked in that way, it's damaging. How you doing, Maxie?
Fantastic.
Opinions? What you thinking? What you thinking?
Not anything. I'm waiting for this to end because I want to know how. She's trying to plead insane. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work for the jury.
I think it's going to be really hard.
She did a lot of crazy fucking things. Did some stupid shit.
She did. And the thing is all of it there, she was protecting herself through a lot of it, which a crazy person does not do because they don't realize they've done wrong.
Right.
You know, and as soon as you know you've done something wrong, it kind of takes that away.
Yeah, because that means you're sane.
Exactly, right? An insane person doesn't worry about penalties because they feel entitled to have done what they did. You know, everybody else is wrong.
It don't matter at that point, you know?
Right?
It's like that crazy. It doesn't even matter at that point. Like the devil is the devil. He's walking the earth and you're seeing demons and you're jumping off bridges. Good for you. Not good for you, but like you can be insane, right? She's not insane. I don't think she is.
No. I mean, you can be a total psychopath and still not be insane.
To answer,
as long as you know what you're doing is wrong.
I don't think it was a reaction thing. I think it was premeditated. I really do think that this was her hurrah. And I'm not saying that because I think that that's what it was, but maybe in her head, she was like, oh, this is going to be my moment. Like, people are going to finally see me and like understand that I'm better than all of this.
Yeah. Yeah. She's smart enough to have tried to hide it. And as soon as they're trying to hide it, as far as I'm concerned, that means that
She did a
they're
lot
perfectly
to
aware
try
of
and
what
hide
they
it.
did.
But she went and dropped off, did what she did with Gannon first, then went and picked him up from where she initially put him, and then drove him to Florida.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a good possibility there's 3 places where he had been moved to.
Yes.
You know, and
she knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah, so a guilty person, or sorry, a person who doesn't understand what they've done, they don't try to hide anything. You know, they might leave, just leave, but from anything I've kind of learned, they don't know that they did wrong, so there's no reason to cover it up.
That's a really good point, Dandy. It was premeditated.
I wonder
Like,
if
whatever she was thinking was she was gonna make it happen. So like, if she did try to like set his room on fire, like however the fuck, like, yeah, that's interesting.
So the Gazette also has something kind of interesting out. So this is talking about her trying to get her neighbor to basically do something fraudulent for her. So let's go take a peek. Let's check it out. Friday afternoon marked the end of the first week of the trial, and the prosecution spent a significant portion of the day asking witnesses about her demeanor after Gannon's disappearance. Most significantly, testimony of the day from the day's 11th and final witness, Nicole Mobley, a former neighbor of Stauch's. Mobley testified that she had met Stauch on one occasion before Gannon's disappearance, and that when Gannon was reported missing, she and her husband spent hours looking for him. Mobley said she even reached out to Stauch via Facebook to ask where she and her husband should be looking for Gannon. And then a message said she had now been blocked by Stauch. So she blocked her just for asking how she can help. Mobley stated she messaged Stauch again several weeks later on a new profile. On February 19th, 2020, Stauch asked her neighbor to lie to the law enforcement on her behalf. Stauch told Mobley via text messages that were displayed in court that a man had broken into her home, assaulted her and Gannon, along with a suitcase. The story Stauch told Mobley was similar to the one she told her husband and Gannon's father, Al Stauch, over the phone on February 14th. However, during the several phone calls between Al and Letecia on February 14th, the recordings of which were played in court, Letecia Stauch eventually admitted to making that story up before pivoting to a new story about Gannon having an accident on his bike before being taken by a man named Quincy Brown. Brown, Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Eventually, during the conversation with Mobley, Stauch writes that she needs a witness for police to believe her story. At one point, even offered Mobley money to call her husband and report that she had seen Gannon getting into a car with a strange man on January 27th. Not looking good. What if you just said you remembered something suspicious? seeing this picture and explained the description, and you didn't think it was relevant until now because the kid had the same cover. Stauch wrote that sending a photo of Gannon with the blankets on his body was later found with, "I swear to you, I didn't do this. I just need help with someone getting this out there so they can start posting in other states." Mobley, who claimed she did not believe Stauch's story during the testimony, their text conversation stated that after receiving those text messages from Stauch, she reported them and turned her phone over to law enforcement. Further testimony was heard from a co-worker of Letecia Stauch's daughter who let Stauch and her daughter stay at her home the night of January 29th, 2020. So that was just odd. Harley was supposed to stay there. She showed up with her mom and said, can she please stay too? Good God. Janine Sanchez testified at how she believed it was strange that Stauch had asked to stay at her home, when originally she had only planned on letting the daughter Haley Hunt stay. Furthermore, Sanchez stated that she found it weird that when she and Hunt picked up Stauch, she said, "I hope you don't think we're a bunch of unalivers." Gannon was reported missing 2 days before this incident, Sanchez testified. Testimony regarding Stauch's suspicious behavior after Gannon had been reported missing continued when Christopher Gastine, a deputy with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, testified to the interaction with Stauch. Gastine testified, I'm watching all these deer walk by. I hope my dog doesn't go batshit crazy. Gastine testified. Oh no, here she comes. Just let me get prepared. Oh no. So what do you think, Maxie? Like she was sure, oh no, covering her bases, eh?
At least she thinks she did, but
yeah. Everything she's doing is basically proving that she's not insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Yeah, like everything she's doing is basically saying, like, I was totally sane when I did this, and I really don't want anyone to learn about it. So, yeah, how about you help me out here and just say that you've seen him getting into a vehicle that you're not familiar with. It would be a big help, and then start looking for him in the right spots. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay. So Gastine testified he was leading a team conducting covert surveillance on Stauch, and after following Stauch and Hunt to a Marshall store in Colorado Springs, where they issued a warrant to seize Stauch's car and phone. When Gastine confronted Stauch outside of Marshall's, she claimed she attempted to sprint from the deputies through her car keys across the parking lot. Gastine clarified that Stauch was not under arrest at this time. A little paranoid. It was an unusual action. 2 members of law enforcement with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office testified on Friday to Stauch's behavior being evasive and unusual when conducting interviews shortly after Gannon's disappearance. Yeah, vague and unusual, just the way you want to behave when you're trying to find your child. In addition to testimony regarding Stauch's behavior, the prosecution continued to try to build evidence, providing the defendant's sanity on Friday, asking a slew of witnesses questions about Stauch's mental health in the days leading up and following Gannon's reported missing. The heavy questioning regarding sanity comes as a result of her plea, not guilty by reason of insanity. She's not making great headway yet. And the contrast findings of the 2 sanity evaluations conducted on Stauch since entering the plea. District Attorney Michael Allen told the 18-person jury composed of 11 men, 7 women, that a report from the state hospital in Pueblo, did I say that right? Found Stauch to be sane at the time she allegedly attacked her stepson. Defense attorney Will Cook claims that a defense-hired expert, Dr. Dorothy Lewis, found Stauch had a physical crack at the time psychotic crack, sorry guys, at the time she allegedly attacked Gannon and thus found her insane. Okay. Allen and the prosecution continued to try to build evidence proving sanity with the witnesses called Friday, including Leslie Hicks, a former assistant principal, and this is where she was working at the Mountain Vista Community School. Hicks testified that during January 2020, that Stauch was interviewing for a resource teacher position at Mountain Vista. Hicks testified that during the interview process that her demeanor was normal and that she displayed no attributes of someone suffering any kind of severe mental illness. Hicks testified that Stauch was hired just days before Gannon was reported missing. And there were no concerns until January 27th when Stauch texted Hicks to tell her that she would not be coming into work that day because her stepfather had been hit by a car and died. Gannon was reported missing by Stauch later that night. The prosecution asked every witness who took the stand on Friday who had spoken to Stauch if she appeared to be suffering from severe mental disorders, or if she had ever referred to herself by a different name or appeared to have drastically different personalities. All witnesses who were asked stated Stauch did not appear to have a severe illness. Defense attorney Josh Tellini objected to several of the questions by prosecuting regarding Stauch's mental health, but Judge Gregory Werner overruled the majority of them. Well, oh my, that could almost be another video, couldn't it? They asked every single witness that went through about her mental health, and everybody was saying that she seemed completely normal, completely herself. When someone has a mental crack, it's a mess. On Wednesday, sorry guys. On Wednesday, Al Stauch gave a definitive statement regarding his opinion on his ex-wife's sanity. I believe she is and was absolutely sane, Al Stauch said when asked by the prosecution if she believed Letecia Stauch was insane. From the time I met her to even today. Stauch's trial will resume 9 a.m. Monday. Be there or be square. We will be streaming it. Allen said that the prosecution experts are testimony regarding Gannon's autopsy at some point on Monday. So, that's a hard one, right? Okay, let's see here. How you doing, Maxie? Where did you go, Maxie? Something could have just sparked all that rage, but it seems like it was dragged out for so long. Yeah. Anger and alone. I'm going with total premeditation. She was angry about the situation long before she did this. I'm leaning that way. Anger diminishes when you lash out. Hard to be that kind of angry for so long. You would think so, right? She's a terrible human. She simply could care less. Her only focus is herself and then and now. I totally agree. Maxie! She called into work the morning of. I'm going to guess she was not with us at the time. Yeah, exactly. Maxie! So let's see here. We've got a little bit more to kind of go over, and I think we've basically covered Let's take a look at this. This is Gannon's dad heading in. The district attorneys. And there we go. Okay, take a quick peek here. So, questions regarding sanity continue to swirl in the case of Letecia Stauch, who is accused of killing Gannon Stauch in January 2020. And on Wednesday, her ex-husband gave a firm position on his beliefs regarding Letecia Stauch's sanity. I believe she is and was absolutely sane, Al Stauch, Gannon's father, said by the prosecution, if he believes Letecia Stauch was sane from the time I met her to even today. Al Stauch had made a detective in past. That's right. Talina referred to statements Al Stauch had made to detectives in the past, allegedly describing his relationship with Letecia as a roller coaster. He had previously called her crazy, and how she allegedly referred to her as Taylor, despite that not being her first or middle name. Talini also said that Letecia Stauch was seeing a psychiatrist, Dr. Randa Niederhauser, to treat a mental illness, specifically anxiety. Okay. Al Stauch said he was unaware of why Letecia was seeing Dr. Niederhauser, who is expected to testify. Defense attorney Will Cook explained during opening statements that the defense expert psychiatrist Dr. Dorothy Lewis found Letecia Stauch insane and diagnosed her with dissociative identity disorder. During the redirect, Alex Stauch attempted to explain some of the statements Talini referred to, saying the roller coaster description was just the normal ebb and flow of any relationship and not a comment on the mental health of Letecia Stauch. So at the end of the redirect, 4th Judicial District Attorney Michael Allen and Al Stauch reaffirmed that he did not believe Letecia Stauch had ever suffered from any severe mental illness during their relationship. It's going to be really, really hard for a person to say that they were mentally ill when they have a very large history of maybe having a little bit of off-putting as far as the personality, but far from mentally ill. So we know that Wednesday opened with Al Stauch retaking the witness stand and the prosecution playing several phone conversations between Letecia and Al. Now, if you haven't seen them, go back in my playlist because you won't believe it. Check it out. The calls were similar to the 2-hour phone conversation between Al and Letecia Stauch that jurors heard Tuesday afternoon, where Letecia Stauch claimed that a Mexican man had entered their home and she hit her head on a table and blacked out. Then she was R-worded that the alleged intruder took Gannon and left. FBI agent coached Alan Stauch through the recorded phone calls played in court. You have to take a listen to those. So Alan Stauch became more aggressive in his line of questioning eventually and accused Letecia of lying to him. You know where Gannon is? You're blank lying to me, Al Stauch yells at his then wife. Where is my boy? During one call, Letecia Stauch said Quincy Brown, remember him, had taken Gannon, and a story Al Stauch immediately called out as a lie. He's a smart cookie, and he played his cards perfectly. So each phone call between the two did grow progressively more heated, leading to the 4th call where Al Stauch asked Letecia repeatedly, where is my son? At no point in the call did Letecia Stauch back down from her claim that Brown was the perpetrator, saying that she was scared for her life and that Al Stauch needed to grow some balls and find him. You're trying to put me 6 feet under. That's what you're trying to do, Letecia yelled. In the fifth and final call, Letecia finally admitted that some of her story was a lie, but she did not back down from her claim that Brown was involved in Gannon's disappearance. She just does not give up. I'm sorry for all the stories. I didn't know what to do, she said through tears. He fell off a bike and he got hurt bad. Oh, God, woman. Letecia Stauch also claims she bought a bike from Brown and that while testing the bike down, Gannon fell off and was bleeding from his head. She said Brown offered to drive Gannon to the hospital, but didn't return. So that's what you're going to do. Your kid is harmed, and you're going to pass him off to a complete total stranger, Quincy Brown. Say, can you just like take him to the hospital for me and let me know kind of how that works out? When Al Stauch asked Letecia why she didn't follow Brown and Gannon to the hospital, she dealt with that by hanging up on him. Al Stauch later testified the final phone conversation he played and that he didn't believe Letecia Stauch's version of events, despite saying he did during his conversations. A bridge inspector from Florida testified that while performing a bridge inspection on March 14, 2020, just to make sure that the bridge running over the Escambia River near Pensacola, Florida, he and his partner noticed a suitcase under a bridge near the marsh below. Ponder testified that if the suitcase had just been slightly deeper in the marsh, he may not have noticed it at all. When Ponder and his partners went to inspect the suitcase, which he said they only did out of pure curiosity, he opened it and immediately realized there was something no longer alive inside. He said it was an overwhelming smell. Then the first thing I saw was 2 little feet with 2 football socks on them. Santa Rosa Sheriff's Department Deputy Jason Yoder responded to the 911 call. After discovering Gannon, investigators quickly linked the remains to Gannon after finding his wanted poster in the National Missing Persons database. Yoder testified that only a few days later, the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office had confirmed that it was indeed Gannon. So now the jury is set up, the prosecution from El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Prior to the end of the day, one who discussed evidence collection at the Stauch home and another one of the first responders to the Stauch home after Gannon was reported missing. So again, we will see her live and in person Monday morning, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. And we will do this again. Back at it. We'll get our penguins going. Not penguins, good Lord, they'd probably actually be fun. Get our pandas going. Great conversation. Learn a lot. I'll definitely be there for the morning. I should set it up sooner than later. I'll set that up and then I will play it by ear as to whether or not I'm going to do something in the afternoon. I really did like the way it worked on Friday, where I streamed and did that. And then I had the afternoon to kind of do my Kohlberger stuff and kind of look at the other cases. So, Mexi, you there, friend? Mexi! You guys, did we lose Mexi? She gone. Oh my goodness. So, that's where we're at, basically. Are they going to fall for this? I don't know. I think if they continue, like this is supposed to last maybe up to 6 weeks. So if every single person that they talk to says, hell no, she did not have a mental illness. I mean, they let her work at school with children with learning disabilities and children with maybe some temperament issues, and you have to stay pretty straight up. So guys, I tell you what, have a great Easter. I'll probably be putting stuff up because, yeah, I enjoy that. I like to do it. And yeah, have a great Easter. Hope the Easter Bunny spoils you all bunches. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Bye.